Welcome to the first video in this series of 8. Again, my name is Rodrigo, also known as Rodrigo. Today's topic is a topic that everyone is familiar with and that everyone has to go through. It's education. Basically, what we're going to be talking about is the educational system. What it does, what it's about, how it functions, its purpose for existence, and what it does to you. So in education, since preschool, since prior to preschool in your own home, since prior to your own home, in your community, in your neighborhood, from people you come across every day, people you speak to, people even you don't speak to, from a glance, from a look, you are being educated. So don't think of it, even though I am mentioning, as I stated, the system. The educational system isn't specifically K through 12. It's not upper division college, UC, Cal State, whatever it is that you're familiar with. Education begins from the moment that you are born. There are specific styles, specific ideas, specific conditioning, indoctrination. What you are taught is to fit into society. What you are taught is to be the normal person, to be the one that is like everybody else, to be the one that fits in, is not the outcast, the so-called black sheep. So why? Why do we have this system in place? Why have we gone away from the fact that you want the individual to strictly grow on their own, to be able to be familiar with who they are, build their identity, build their individuality, build their own characteristics? Why do we have a system in place that tells you who to be and tells you how to be and tells you what to be, what purpose, what reason? Well, basically it's for this, control. The educational system, again, from the day that you were born until the day you die, is in place to make sure you're in control. Don't do what we don't want you to do. Don't be who we don't want you to be. Don't believe what we don't want you to believe. Don't think what we don't want you to think. And that is why that entire system is in place. That system is there to make sure to keep you in line. So again, it is not just the fact that you are sitting in a classroom. It is every moment of your day. When you walk into a store and somebody gives you a look for your dress, when you walk into a place to rent a video, which most people don't do anymore today, you Redbox it. But when you're going to Redbox and you pick out that video and somebody's looking at your selection and giving you a weird look, like, why that movie versus this movie? When you drive this car and somebody doesn't like it versus that car. This whole system, again, is to make sure you are in place and in control. So when you step out from your first to 5 years, and you've been conditioned at home by your parents to fit whatever cultural ideas, whatever societal ideas and norms that they want you to have, after you've spent the first 5 years being conditioned mostly by your parents or those who rear you, whoever raised you, including those you play with, your surroundings, including your neighbors, and including whatever institutions you've been taken to, be it a theme park, be it church, be it a movie theater. Once you're done with those first 5 years, then you move into your constant, everyday, reinforced indoctrination and conditioning, which is your K through 12 system, from kindergarten to high school. Preschool, you usually have a little bit more free reign. That's why I'm not bringing that in. They let you finger paint, let you play with your Play-Doh. They give you that one time in your life when you can say, do what you want and be a kid. After that, and you hit your K through 12, now it's time to learn what it is you need to learn. These are the people that matter. These are the important instances and events in your society and life. This is the information you need to know. This is what you need to learn. This is what you need to read. This is what you need to memorize. Write this way, speak this way, look this way, because that is what is our society. That is who you need to be. Again, control. You become part of the system. You become part of the entire mechanism that keeps your society functioning. Is it wrong? Well, that's for up to you to decide. That's why I'm presenting you this information. Again, objectively, that's for up to you to decide. This system is in place to make sure that your society continues to function in a manner that is productive. But the question is, productive for who? Is it productive for you? Or is it productive for those that are empowered? Is it productive for those who control the system? That's what you have to ask yourself, because you can sincerely say, well, what's the big deal? What's the big deal that I learn to be like everybody else? What's the big deal that I start to be like everybody else? I want my child to fit in. I want my child to be able to go to school and feel like they belong. But where is the individual in that? Roughly 12 years, this child will be taught every day, 5 days a week for 6 to 8 hours a day. Again, how to be, what to learn, what to speak, what to write, what to know, what is important, what isn't important. When you read those historical books, it's telling them this matters versus this doesn't matter. And that's what they're conditioned to believe. Then once you leave that K through 12 system and you become the so-called adult, the independent individual, you now enter another area. The workforce, the everyday life, the so-called adult world, which is a whole other educational system depending what you get into. Because now you have places, if you want to go work at this place, then you have to follow these regulations. And if you want to work in this area, then you got to be this type of person. And if you want to work here, then you got to be this type. Regardless of your knowledge, regardless of your capacity, regardless of your ability and skill level, if you want to enter this specific area, you have to fit what is that area. Again, where is the individualism? Where is the person versus the product? Because that's what the educational system is creating, a product. You are a product of your environment. That's why you've heard that probably over and over again. This environment has produced you. The person who does not speak out, the person who does not speak up, the person who does not question, the person who gives them their blind conformity, which is exactly what they want. Conform to what we need, fit our standards, have our goals, have our values. Don't question it, don't fight it. Don't wonder about it, just do it. And again, that is what the educational system is. That's why I state, I'm not knocking any specific institution. I'm not going after any specific school. But you have to ask, again, the educational system, why it's in place. What is its purpose? You are taught to believe, because again, what you've been conditioned to believe, that is for informational purpose, to make you more a well-rounded person, so that you understand and you can grow as a person. But again, you become the product of that environment. And that product is very simple, as I stated. A person who gives blind conformity. Do not question and do not do. You move forward, you go to work every day, you buy your house, you put money into the system, and you don't ask much back. You don't get mad when certain things happen or certain things you don't have, because it's okay that others do and you don't. This is part of the conditioning that you have. You're also taught this is what you deserve, from either where you came from, either who you are, or what your cultural may be. This is what you deserve. And you're taught that because you deserve this because you're not that. This is yours because that is theirs. Again, why? There's no reason for that. We live in a nation, we live in a society that everyone can have equally the same. But our system teaches us that there has to be the haves and the have-nots. Again, no reason for that. That is not something you need to teach somebody. The only reason you teach that to somebody is to make sure that they don't strive to have what they shouldn't. The only reason you educate somebody on that is to make sure that they understand their place in society, their place in the product of the system. You were produced to be this, not that. So make sure you stay in line. You were produced to think this, not that. So make sure you don't go that route. Again, I just want to make sure you understand what it is you are sending your children to every day, what it is you are participating in every day, and what it is you are a product of every day. Because you may have never really thought of it that way. Perhaps you have, perhaps you haven't. I don't know. But you may have never really thought the educational system isn't simply the institution of learning. The educational system is the entire life that you live. And again, everything is controlled. Everything is in place and put out the way it's meant to be. All of that is part of the educational system.